Hi everyone, it's Heidi from Flutterby, Heidi.wordpress.com, back again here with another Sunday scoring, and this time it's a book fold card, but it's what I call a modified book fold card because actually it's 3 layers. So when it stands up you can actually see that it is a book fold, which hopefully you can see just there. It gives that effect there when it's stood up. I haven't used an awful lot of stamping on here, but I've used the coordinating flourishing phrases, which coordinates with the detailed dies, which are the flourish thinlits. And this is a great stamp set because actually what you've got is you've got some lovely floral images on this one here, and then you've got some phrases that are great, from a simple I love you to some marriage ones, or all sorts of ones. So that's what we're using today. I've done most of the die cutting already just to save you hearing me cranking away on the big shot. So without further ado, you need to get your trimmer out. And I'm going to do this one in centimetres, but it will be in inches on my blog, which is flutterbyheidi.wordpress.com. So if you go there, you'll find the dimensions in inches as well. Where I can, I will try and do those as I go along as well for you. So first thing you need is a piece of cardstock, and this needs to be 15 centimetres by 30 centimetres. So you're using 12 by 12 cardstock and just trimming off that fraction of half a centimetre on the end there. And then you're just scoring every 10 centimetres. So you're scoring at 10 and at 20 centimetres, and that is going to make your basic card. Once you've scored that, you're going to turn it, and at 2.5 centimetres on the right, you're going to cut from from at the top here, from 2.5 down to 17.5. This is where, there we go, you'll see my head, apologies. 2.5 by cutting. 2.5 down to 17.5. Okay, so that's measuring at 2.5 on the right, and then measure at 2.5 from the left as well, and just repeat that same cut. So there you go, from 2.5 down to 17.5. And on the dark cardstock it can be a little bit difficult to see when you're working under artificial light. So you'll have a piece of cardstock that looks like this. So you've got cut top and bottom on your score lines. So this is going to be the front, and this is the inner panel. So you now need to score between those cut lines at 12.5 centimetres. At 15 centimetres, at 25 centimetres, and then again at 27.5 centimetres. So just 4 score lines along there, so you can see those there. Okay. And then to fold this, the first fold goes back on itself, and you'll need to just burnish that. And this next one is going to come forward, but as always, go with your score line first before you bring it back, because this one, the middle section, is what's going to go back. Okay, so you're then going to valley fold, mountain fold, valley in the middle, then valley at this end, and mountain fold. So just turn that like so. So once you've got those ready, what I suggest you do is, as we've done before, fold it together and then reinforce on the back there. And if you've got any which are not quite lining up, just So that is your basic book fold card. And then the panel to go behind that, obviously you could leave it like that if you wanted to, but you want to give it a bit more stability. So it's just a piece of cardstock which is 20 by 15 centimetres, and you just score that on the long edge at 10 centimetres. Just make a standard card base. And then you're going to adhere that behind your other panel, okay, like so. Okay. So what you need to do then, in order to get that to stick, is we're going to put tape on either side. But before we do that, I suggest we actually decorate the inner panels and the front panels first, so that is all done. So to decorate the front, we've got some designer series paper, and I've used this lovely blue and white one here, which I've teamed up with the Bermuda Bay. And all you need to do is just pop that on the front, and this piece of DSP is 14.5 by 9.5. And that just goes on the front there. Oh. Then you've got a panel of cardstock which is going to go in the centre, and this central panel here I've actually stamped using the Flourishing Phrases stamp. So with these larger stamps, it's always a good idea to take your ink pad to the stamp rather than the other way around to get some really good coverage. So with your ink pad on the desk, just tap all over. And although I did full strength stamping on my sample, I felt it was a little bit strong, so I'm actually just going to stamp off once before I stamp to give a slightly lighter impression. And then I'm going to adhere the die cut over the top, and I think that just gives us a better effect than this one, which was full strength. It just gives a bit more contrast. And when you're adhering these detailed die cuts, it can be quite tricky. So what I'm going to suggest you do is get some of get one of our sponges and put some Tombow glue on a craft mat, and then keeping it in one place, just gently dab all over the die cut. That way you have glue on your die cut, so you can then stick it straight onto your card, like so. And then to press it down, what I usually do is I just get my mat, and I'm just using my wet wipe to wipe the mat and rub that down at the same time. Then pop that to one side to dry, and then we can adhere that to our panel. That's why I said leave it to one side to dry, because it just was a little bit tacky. Okay. So once we've stuck our panel, those panels, the Whisper White then, so the Whisper White for the front was 11.5 by 7.5, and the card was 7.5 by 12 centimetres. Then all you need to do is pop some dimensionals on the back, and as I've said before, you don't need hundreds of dimensionals, one in each corner, and on a larger piece like this, one in the middle is useful as well. And then just take off those little tabs and pop your panel in the centre there. Then for the layers for the inside, you need 2 layers of designer series paper. And these pieces of DSP are only narrow, they're just 2 by 9.5 centimetres. And then 2 pieces of card in whatever contrast you're going to use, which are 9.5 by 4.5. And then 2 pieces of Whisper White, which are 9 by 4 centimetres. So if we do our panels of DSP first, and those can just go on the side there. And then I'm going to adhere the contrast panels, but then I'm going to stamp on my Whisper White panels before I layer those up. So those are our card panels. Okay. And then for the stamping, for this main panel, we're going to use the Flourishing Phrases stamp again. So again, all over, and then just literally pop that over the card. And that's full strength. I haven't stamped off with that one. And then I'm using one of the phrases from that same set as well, and just pop that in there. And what I thought I always think looks rather nice is if you just come in on the edge of these, it just finishes the appearance off, and then obviously you've got space then to write who the card is to and from on the side there as well. So if we just pop our phrase in there, and then if we get our other panel side here, as you can see, there we go. And although it's not the same pattern, I think it works rather well with this blue and white designer series paper as well. So there's our base card. All we need to do is pop our panel behind it, and when you're doing that, as I said before, fold your card up in the first place, and then you're going to use either tear and tape or red tape or fast fuse to actually adhere the outer card. So what I recommend you do is line it up and glue the reverse first. So you're literally just gluing on this outer edge here. And you're going to come in like so. Okay. And then again, just put with the card folded, fuse again and fold that in like so. And then when it opens, it doesn't quite open flat, but you don't want it to, because actually you want to keep that book appearance on the front there. Okay. And all you need to do is, I've just come in a little bit far on that edge, so it's just creeping forwards, but it's fine because your card is intended to stay open anyway. So you see I just came a little bit far forward on the front edge. There we go, there's your card. It's what I call a modified book fold, so it's a little bit different, and the idea is that as it stands you can see both the stamping or your image on the front, and you can still see the sentiment on the inside, making it a little bit different to our standard book folds. If you want to add the trim that I did on the inside of this card, I've taken the long strip that's in the Flourish Thinlets, and using the same method as we use for the front detail die, I've done exactly the same. And to get those two shorter pieces, I've literally just very carefully cut down the middle and then just trimmed like so. And then those can be adhered just on the inside of your card, so that you get that effect there. Just add a little bit of colour to it without using DSP. Hope you've enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to shop online with me and keep an eye out for my online classes as well, because those are available to anybody in the UK. Bye for now, and come back and see me soon.